Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It's another episode of Ight, so boom. Today we got
Drinks,
Castro,
Ish,
Brett,
and your lovely gentleman Pop in the house. Hopefully we've grasped you the first episode. We're here for episode number 2. Appreciate you guys following us and being part of this. And
thanks for tuning in.
thanks for tuning in. All right, so boom.
what defines a macho man?
It's a very good question.
good question.
From what and how I was raised and stuff like that, and how I perceive, well, I guess I'm a little racist, but I do think that
It's okay.
I do think that black men overall are like super manly, regardless of, they can just walk into a room and they automatically take the stage, but also like holding your responsibilities, but like taking care of your kids, not leaving anybody behind, and like handling your shit as an individual, not about a woman, not like taking care of a woman, just handling your shit, being on point with like everything that you have to do. I think that defines a man
like taking
for,
care of your
or
shit.
that's basically what a woman would want to see. You know what I mean?
That leads me to a very interesting question that I have. I learned over time that women want men, or at least this is from a woman's perspective on what women
think they want, and then the next person comes.
Nah, I wasn't gonna say that. Women want a man that takes charge, right? Who can come into a room and get shit done. A man who could walk into a house and go, all this shit needs to be done. And as a woman, maybe either I can do it, or whether I know how independent women think these days. I can do it, but it's nice to have a man that could come in and do this shit
I'm not
anyway.
killing bugs. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, she wants a man who come in and get shit done. We got to do this. All right, cool. Let's coordinate it. And that's what. Would you say that's what women see as a man who can take charge and get things done? Would you agree?
Not necessarily like coming into a woman's space and taking over. I'm saying like you have your own space. I'm coming into your space and I see that you have all your shit together.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you
like
have
you're
your
good,
own
like,
house.
you don't have to
You
worry.
got your own shit. You got your own car. Like it has nothing to do with me.
Well, that's survive. Like everyone who's just trying to survive on their own should have these things.
Yeah,
but I
but
find
I'm
like
saying
this,
like when females, women, girls, whatever, when they see that a man is handling their own, regardless of whatever's going on with their life, like they're taking care of themselves, they're eating right, they're drinking water, suit tailored, all that stuff, like that will define, or that will want a woman to pursue you and then understand like what more you have to offer. You know what I mean?
And then she goes, that's a man right there.
Yeah.
Because if
you're taking care of yourself like that, if you have your mindset on those things, what other things like can you provide for yourself, and then what other things can you provide for me, and then for my children, and then for their children? You know what I mean?
Is it predominantly about the children?
For women, yeah. I mean,
not so
not
much about
necessarily
them anymore,
just
right?
about the children, but it's more about like, can you take care of yourself?
Yeah.
So
can you take care of yourself without
I just want to get it
me?
in stone, right? So you've heard it here first. In 2019, it's no longer about whether a man could take care of a woman.
In 2019, for Brittany's life.
Okay, because I need some concrete.
Yeah,
be careful
all women.
because
but
I'm
the
waiting
women
for
that
it.
I know, the women that raised me,
Mm-hmm.
like that is definitely a man for us. Like, take care of yourself, regardless of if I'm here or not, because I need to know that you're gonna be good. Because if anything goes down, you will be able to do the same for me, and you will be able to do the same for my children.
Women, let me know in the comments what you guys think, because we're peeling this shit back out here in Ight, so boom, like we're peeling this shit back. What's left? Because all I see is the sex. They make slamming food in restaurants.
What do you mean?
I could clean my crib. So what's left? Like we're peeling back what it is. Because there's a lot of thirsty niggas out here. You would think women have a lot of shit to offer. Is it really just the pussy now?
But I still
because if no one needs you.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And I hear what you're saying, but it's more.
What else is there to offer?
I don't even think it's like an offering. Like here's my whole life. I think it's the fact that a woman can just say, I love myself, or like regardless of whatever. Like I love myself. I'm confident enough to be myself, and like you can either take that or leave that. And then it becomes two individuals loving themselves and then bringing that together and forming something else. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like here's my offering.
Sounds like
me.
Voltron.
Yeah, kind
Taking
of.
it
Yeah, I
apart.
guess so relationships nowadays should be looked at more like as Voltron.
He
I
said
don't
like
even know what
Voltron.
Voltron is.
It's like you take these different parts that are already good on their own and put them together to make something else. You know,
Well, yeah,
Voltron.
That's
Tiger.
better.
If that's what that
Something
is.
better.
Megtron by Nicki Minaj.
So I'm a little confused because if a guy is able to take care of self, if a guy is able to handle self, if a guy does not need support from this woman that's looking at him and saying, "Oh my gosh, she's so manly,"
But I don't think he's looking for support from that woman. He might be looking for that emotional connection.
so I'm just trying to build the case. If a guy doesn't need anything from this woman, right? Because he's take care of everything himself, cook, clean, shower, job, tailor suits, deadlines, resume, life. His life is together. His shit is together.
But he doesn't really need.
He doesn't really need the woman. So why, aside from having kids,
I'm not gonna agree. I can't
Having
agree
sex.
With that.
Let's be specific.
that's what I'm saying. Like, because you're saying it's not about the sex. So it's like, what's the purpose of taking on this other individual in your life and forming
I
Voltron?
mean, I guess when I say it's not about the sex, I'm talking about like it's not just about being pleasured. Like it's about.
Yeah, I think it's about.
Well, that's what I'm
Family
saying.
action,
It's like
man.
now you create something. Like I said,
But
you
who
come
says
together
men-
and you create something.
Someone needs to ask the male conglomerate, what is it that you want from relationships? Because I feel like if you do, and this was like Family Feud, the main answer would be sex. So, like, I get it. Women's what they want matters too. And I think in a world where women are becoming more dominant, you'll start to hear, well, this is, because you guys want us so bad, this is what we want. And we don't give a shit if you guys, essentially
Want
what
sex?
you want.
There's
Yeah, this is what we want. This is the standard of what, we don't care if you guys, we know you can take care of yourselves. You know what I'm saying?
There's
I
a
get what
meme.
you're saying, and then like
Yeah, did you,
I feel like-
at what point do you ask me what I want?
And then all
'Cause
breaks
I'll
down
tell you
like,
straight up.
Whenever guys chase after girl, there's really sex behind it. And then like they put up like they say like what they want, and guys go out and do these things, get their own place, whatever, just to make sure it's just for the females, just to get to, sad to say the pussy is like, all right, boom, I got it. Fuck you, no,
Well,
it's just,
There's,
I feel like it's
there's
just
legit a meme. It says,
yeah,
if
it's
you were
just
to
like
ask all, if you remove money from men,
Yeah, let
what
Trevor
do they
Noah.
have to offer?
Trevor Noah.
And
yeah.
then if you remove sex from the women, what do they have to offer? There really isn't much. From
I-
Because
either
if a man
phase.
could fuck a
Exactly.
woman in a cardboard box, he'd do it.
That's almost like that video, and this is kind of to show, like, to further push the point that maybe sex is all that men really give a
but I
shit
don't
about.
think so, because
But
then,
just
Hear me out,
hear me out.
cause
hear me
then
out,
you would have
hear
to
me out.
explain why people fall in love.
Hear me out.
What?
Like I said in the last.
Oh,
Hear
no.
me out.
I told a lot of women I love
there
them.
was this
now.
very,
Oh,
very,
Jesus.
very educated lady. I forgot her name, and she made the point to illustrate this department store. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the department store.
And she
Paradox.
yeah, the department store paradox. And she said this woman goes into a store, and the trick to the store is once you go to a floor, that's it. You can't revisit it. So if you go to the first floor, that's it. If you go to the second floor, you can't go back to the first floor, and so on and so forth.
You have to settle with what you
You
have
have
on
to
that
settle
floor,
with-
or go up to the next
Oh,
one.
I
Or
heard that.
yeah, so she goes to the first floor, and she's just like the signs like a bunch of men that aren't working but good men. And she's like, you know what? Let me
They're
go.
loyal.
They're loyal.
So
Let me go see what's on the
Loyal.
second floor. She goes to the second floor, and I may be messing
They're
up. the order.
loyal with big dicks. Third
Yeah.
floor, they're loyal, have big dicks and money.
Right.
Fourth floor, they are loyal, they have big dicks, they have money, and
And
they,
they have their own
you know,
place.
they,
And
they,
they go to-
they want kids.
They want kids. Yeah.
And then at the final floor,
It
It
says.
says-
a bum, right?
there's
No, the final floor says there are no men here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then, just not to be biased, there was another department store across the street for the men. And
on
the
the first
first floor
floor.
it said loyal women that love sex.
Niggas ain't get to the rest
That
of
was
the floor.
it.
No one's ever visited
No
the
one's
second
ever
floor.
visited.
I think the problem with that is no. But okay, let's be fair. Let's be fair. I want to ask. I want to ask Britt a question.
What else would the floor
have? Let's switch it up. If the first floor for men said women who cook, would he have stopped at that floor?
Probably.
But if it just said
I don't
women
think he
who
would.
cook,
If it just said no, he's gonna keep going
floor.
up. If it said
No,
women who cook
Oh.
and we're loyal, is he gonna keep going up?
It.
I think he would end that too.
Nah, he's gonna keep going up. If
I
she,
think he's gonna go.
Yo,
but no,
Dean,
no.
I'm gonna
I think
ask-
people's gonna stop.
I
But
think-
then when they realize, like, oh, she's just cooking, I done fucked up. Like,
yeah, that's why I'm gonna ask Joyce this question. If it said you're on floor 2 now, bro, it says she's loyal and she can cook, but you don't know nothing about the pussy. Are you going to the next floor?
I gotta go to the next floor.
Exactly. Depending on how you reorder the woman's floors, maybe she would stop. I think what the woman in this example, telling the story, was trying to say is, it doesn't matter how you rearrange the floors for women. They always want more out of life. They always, which is
I agree
ambitious.
with
I can
that.
respect that. But it don't matter. Was there a floor where you could have said, man, I'm good at floor 1. Pick one thing and pick it out and throw it on floor 1. Would you have stopped at any point in floor 1?
Loyalty.
So loyalty.
So
This man has
the
no.
guy with
He's
no
loyal.
job, but
He has
loyal.
no
No
job.
job,
He
no
has
dick.
no dick.
Loyalty means a lot to me.
Wait, no dick or bad dick?
All right.
Yo, this guy
I can fuck with
is
that
shrimp
answer.
king. Like he's.
Alright, let me go to the third.
Hey, there we go. There it is. For men, if she has good pussy, I don't even care if she. Yo, there be times where I'm like, I don't care if she's ugly. Yo, if she has.
No.
Yo, listen.
Hold up.
The
How you,
best sex of
how
my
you,
life.
how do you? But you see her before you get to the pussy though.
Nah, but
Yo.
sometimes it might be the personality.
Nah,
Sometimes.
You about to say
Yo.
the best sex in your life came from
Yo,
ugly
Ish
girls?
just said some. Ish just said some ish. You know what he just said? He said, "But you saw her before you got to the pussy." Listen, let me tell you. If a desperate ugly bitch is ready to throw her box at you, and you manage to find out what it has, and it's glorious, you don't go no. Yo,
Okay.
even if nobody knows you're fucking her.
Oh yeah, keep it.
Maybe this is
Like,
the next,
like, yo, you
maybe
just
this
gonna
is
trip
the next
right
question.
here.
Maybe this
Yeah.
is the next question. But like, they're all the same. So how do they feel different? I guess.
They're not all the same.
Oh, okay.
All pussy is not the same.
Alright.
God did not make all pussy the same.
Oh yeah,
Let me
it's
say
not.
something.
It hits different.
You know,
It-
and it's not
different.
even
different.
psychological. It's not
Definitely-
psychological either.
definitely, you know,
It hits different.
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
It hits different.
You gotta take it from a room full of men. It hits different. I think we can speak for all the men in the world. It's
Yeah.
different. It's
Oh,
different.
just it hits different. Like whether you, I mean, even from women too,
Even
you
as-
have to understand. Like, so you're trying to say all penis is the same?
No,
like
no,
it
no.
hits
Yeah,
different.
let's start
regardless.
this
You guys
up.
have
I
to
love
actually
this
have
because
sizes.
yeah, because women, it's so easy for
But
women.
y'all have
It looks
depth
bigger.
and
But-
wetness
I get it,
and tightness, but
yeah.
even then, even the way y'all throw it back is different from one
Yeah,
woman to
yeah.
And the
another.
way y'all engage in
I
the
get it,
activity.
I
is
Yeah, but
different.
then again, it's the same thing both ways. Well, somewhat, because women will be like, "Yo, he has good dick," and even if it's big, she's really talking about how he made me feel before he started fucking me. Good
Which goes
pussy
back to
doesn't
the
always mean
emotional thing.
her. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of guys will bust a nut without too much participation from the women. It'll happen anyway. But women don't necessarily orgasm from good dick all the time. So when I say good pussy, it's all encompassing. Like this girl, like for me, good pussy means like I look at her and I'm like, yo, she really wants to make me nut, and that's what I call.
So it goes with all the little.
Yeah, like you,
So for you, it's
really
like-
want this
it's
nut.
like
But I mean,
logical as
even
well.
if she,
It's
ugly, you
kinda-
don't
me
even
too.
Even
care,
if she,
bro.
and she, no. Here's how ugly women need to like. Don't think y'all all could talk to me. Like, here's how it works. If you're ugly,
Oh my god.
if you're ugly, it's a
Disclaimer.
no disclaimer. It's a combination of shit. It's a combination
You
of
don't
shit.
need it.
It's a combination of shit. If you're ugly, you probably got either like nice tits or a fat ass, and your pussy is phenomenal, and your personality is great. You're really caring and nurturing. You really, you laugh at all my jokes, even if they're trash.
I got to laugh.
You do all of that,
I'm sorry
I'm
to
gonna
make
let
it
you.
sound
I'm gonna
like a
slide. If
robot.
you do all of that, I'm gonna slide. And if I slide, and the pussy's dope, and I'm 30. What am I? 29 now. I'm 29
Tell
now.
us.
I'm 29 now. I'm at a point in my life where I don't really like hold marriage in high regard with the divorce rate being 64%. But if I did choose to settle down, and shorty was ugly,
and she had good box,
ass,
you marry her?
and she had great box and great personality and laughed at all my jokes.
What about credit?
And she cooked, and her credit was slimming.
I mean,
you can have a ring on your fuck with these.
But that's
that's
floor 4 though.
Her face.
That's floor 4 though. We stopped at floor 1. Good box, good box, and loyal.
But we're talking about the ugly chick. We don't stop at floor 1 for that.
You did.
No. But she brought all the other floors down to the first to the lobby.
No.
She brought the whole building
all we got from floor 1 was loyal and good box. That's what we had agreed on, right? So
that
means she probably
loyal. No.
So that means she not cute. Because, we got to go up to at least floor 3 to get the cuteness. That means she not pretty.
All of this has to do with good box, though. Like, this is all good box. Because a girl could be cute and have mediocre pussy, but she has nice tits, and then boom, we have a deal. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just saying, good box,
for him.
Good box. When that on that floor 1, good sex. Like, I'm pretty sure when you went to floor 1 for the women, it wasn't like, here's this ugly dude with big ass dick. You didn't make an ugly classification. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the beat in the face chick. You know what I'm saying? They look like one of y'all niggas. Yeah, Shorty look like one of y'all niggas.
He called us ugly chicks.
No, just
I don't know if I should take it as I don't know if I should take it as he's saying I should be offended that they look like my friends.
It's more like
or if they're ugly.
If we look like females, we'd be ugly.
To be honest, for me, most ugly women just look like dudes. They look somewhat like dudes, but you're just like, oh, I know you're a chick because you have ass and tits.
What if one of them just has a cock eye? Just one.
It's alright.
She got a cock eye. He's trying to give her. She got a cock eye.
That's a deformity.
He don't care. He told you he'll bang the ugly bitch.
Talking about ugly chicks. Niggas is ugly. I don't know what women like about men.
Well, duh. You're going to say that. You're a man.
Well, what's attractive about a guy? Like, what do we have other than dick? You know what I'm saying? That's it.
So we don't even see that first.
Alright, but what I'm trying to say is any woman that resembles that. Because women like guys that look like straight up chicks out here. Am I wrong?
Who?
Women like guys that look like pretty boy chick
he has
like
his
niggas.
Shit together, he dresses.
Fuck all of that. I'm talking about just looks.
That's what she said earlier.
I'm talking about a nigga that's like
look like
super greasy ass waves or like long perm hair and
like light
face with the strap. Light skinned niggas. They love that shit.
You sound a little bitter, bro.
That's the proof. That's the proof.
You sound a little salty. Do you listen to Drake?
You don't have no light skinned people in this podcast.
Brad Pitt looks like a chick.
So to all our light skinned viewers, I'm sorry that you have.
He sounded mad salty. Just know he mad.
We don't have nobody to defend y'all. So.
One of y'all probably stole his girl once in his work.
Unless one of you light skinned niggas come in the comments, y'all gonna take his work. Y'all look like chicks. Nah, I'm kidding. But to me, I think that's proof that the only real attractive creatures in this world are feminine creatures.
To you.
To me, I guess the fact that women like feminine-looking men,
but not necessarily.
Some women. All right, let me.
I mean, if that was the case,
because no man likes masculine women. Masculine-looking women.
You just said you did.
I didn't say
you said you were fucking everybody.
You said she was beat in the face.
No. We acknowledge. No.
You have to clip that and then put it.
We ain't doing that. What I said was, I acknowledge she's beat in the face, but her pussy is awesome.
I'm not talking about that. I'm going back to the Young M.A. comment. You said if I strip all that back. She's still. She's like, if I strip all of that back, I'm beaten. Bro, she looks like a nigga, my guy.
She looks like a.
My gosh, Eddie with a tranny.
Remember that guy that one time that kissed the tranny at that
the bar.
The bar. He wasn't there. Who's laughing at him like, oh my gosh, it's a tranny.
The bar in Cortelu.
Wow.
Keep it going.
The one I used to DJ at.
Yeah, that's for a different podcast.
I remember that bar.
There's some, like Castro was saying, that have the surgeries that come out looking like women.
Yeah, I know. Like they look.
So if one of them come up to you,
how would you
know? You won't know. And there's been stories. You guys can just Google this yourselves. There's been stories of people who got into a relationship with women who used to be men. And they have
I'm sure that's
happened. I have a question. I have a question, man.
I'm sure that's happened before.
You get with somebody like that. Not anybody here specifically. You don't know. Does that make you gay?
That's a very good question.
What was the question?
No,
and they had the surgery and all of that.
They got the surgery. You don't know. It was they didn't tell you.
Did you find out?
They
You know what? I love that question.
If you don't know,
I really enjoy that question.
Because if you don't know, then you don't know.
If you don't know, then you don't know. But
then you think that's a female.
Is gender binary? Because if gender's binary and that's a male, no matter what he does to his body, then biologically you're gay.
So I'm gonna disagree with you, and you know why I'm gonna disagree with you? Because this kind of plays into our masculinity. Then you're tricking us. This gonna play.
It's definitely a trick.
This plays into the masculinity. Remember how we said we could walk into a room and go, "Oh, that's the masculine one." If there's somebody who has that completely off, they had the surgery, and you're in a relationship with them, and you believe it's a woman because they don't give off any masculine traits, so then, anything that's masculine.
So then let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Did Bruce Jenner turn into Caitlyn Jenner?
No.
They're thus turning into a woman. Did he become a woman, or is he still a man?
He looked masculine.
I'm asking,
masculine.
No. I'm asking you a specific question. Do you believe Bruce Jenner is now a woman?
No.
Okay, so then what you're saying is invalid.
How is it not invalid?
Well, here's why I believe it's invalid.
I'm gonna let me just because you're like taking what I'm saying and you're not.
I'll show you why it's related. Because you're saying that even though this person had sex with and married a transsexual, got with this, dated this transsexual and had sex with this transsexual. This transsexual was giving off feminine tendencies, feminine aura, feminine everything. Mm-hmm. And therefore, he didn't know he was tricked by the feminine aura. Therefore, having sex, making him still a straight man because he had sex with feminine energy. What I'm asking is Bruce Jenner turning into Caitlyn Jenner, making him essentially a woman? You said
and
no.
Yes,
it's
and
still
I said
a man.
And I said no. I said no because that person does not give off feminine.
I know. We've established that.
So the example.
Exactly. The reason why the example works is because I'm talking to Rick's. Ish's question was, is this person gay or not? So I think the question we need to establish is gay a biological thing? Is it gay because I had sex with a man?
Your example doesn't add up for the fact that in one instance, this person is everything about them is feminine. The vibe you get from them is feminine. The energy you get from them, there's nothing that makes you go, "Oh, this might have been a man." Nothing at all.
We're talking about what it is.
Your example was Caitlyn Jenner, which I can see, feel, and understand off of the way the person acts. To me, it's manly.
No. I'm talking about
anything that's feminine.
Let's talk about. I use Caitlyn Jenner to just try to nail on the point. Topic is the transition making them a woman or not.
I wasn't talking about the transition.
What I'm saying, take a woman that's not a man that's not that's more believable than Caitlyn Jenner. A man that transitioned and looks and feels exactly like a woman. Mm-hmm. Does that make them a woman? Caitlyn Jenner being ugly doesn't change the fact that she made a choice to transition into a woman. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So my
she has mad power. Sorry, Caitlyn Jenner, if you hear this.
So my reasoning.
You worry she's gonna come after you, not Young M.A., but she's gonna come after.
Will definitely kick my ass.
If this person came up to you and tried to go on a date with you,
I can tell that this is a man. But what I'm trying to say is, had I not been able to tell if this is a man or not,
you would have dated them and had sex with them.
But what I'm trying to say is that doesn't change the fact that is a man to me. Even if it says it's a woman,
so then
I believe it's a man.
The question now becomes, does that make you gay? Because you date this person.
That's what I was answering. And what I'm trying to say is whether or not they give... Well, I get what you're saying. I say that biologically you had sex with a man.
Off, but I couldn't tell. I wouldn't be able to tell. Just something feels
I believe you're not a gay male, but I believe you had gay sex.
I don't.
You had gay sex. It's just a fact.
So technically, that's still not gay sex.
It's not gay at all.
It's gay sex.
Oh, I don't even.
I don't think it's gay sex because technically,
opinion, bro.
I
know everyone in here is straight.
I say it's not gay sex because technically they have a vagina now. They have a, but it's not gay sex. But gay sex would be
two penises.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Well, let's say they don't have anything anal. Let's say they don't have anal, and he just puts it in the reconstructed whatever it is. We will call it a vagina. It's a vagina. The reconstructed thing. It's reconstructed.
But this is why my Bruce Jenner example holds weight. Because this is why the Bruce Jenner example holds weight. Because you're giving degrees to which it wouldn't or would be a woman. Is it a man or not? No matter how convincing you could change the body, is it a male or not?
But that's not what I said. You said it's gay sex. I said I disagree because you put your penis into a
vagina,
what so qualifies it's not gay sex.
But it's not a vagina. It's an inverted penis. So what my question is, what qualifies as gay sex?
I still count that as gay sex.
I count it as gay sex.
He's a dude.
I think he's a man, and you had sex with a man. We're gonna exclude this guy.
I think
okay. So wait, why
gay sex is two males having sex?
So do you believe Bruce Jenner is still a man?
Does he believe that he's a man?
He doesn't even want to be a woman anymore.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Gosh, I didn't even know.
Because you're asking about my opinion.
So I have a question.
My
thing
is
still a man?
He's a man, in my opinion. But
you think he's still a man?
Yeah.
If you didn't know he was a man.
And you just said gay sex is two males having sex. So if you still think he's a man, whether you were duped or not, you had sex with a man, which means it's gay sex.
Okay, so...
I agree.
So
he's not
your thing is if they have male parts, it's a guy. It's gay sex.
Wait, say it again.
If they have male parts anywhere, it's gay sex.
It's not male. See, we don't have to make a distinguish.
You're making it male parts because you said inverted penis.
Males. It doesn't have to be about parts. Are you a male or not? The parts don't matter.
That's what makes that. You're literally picking at the parts.
But
though,
we can have
because
that.
You said you said it's gay sex because his penis inverted. I said it looks like it's been constructed to look like a vagina.
I know, but you can have the hermaphrodite debate. But a hermaphrodite is never split down the middle. It's always they're either biologically pulled towards a male or a female, which means they either have a predominancy of testosterone or they have excess of a certain chromosome than the opposite.
All right. Well, I'm giving in this one the ideal hermaphrodite has a vagina, but they don't have the reproductive system of a female, and they have testes on the inside that you don't see.
I think you can have, like, for example,
is that gay sex?
Wait, what's the question?
Sex?
They have a vagina, but they have testes on the inside you can't see. Is that gay sex?
They have a vagina.
They're born a hermaphrodite. They have a vagina. Inside, they have male reproductive system as opposed to female, but they have a vagina.
They have a vagina, but inside they have
testicles.
Inside, so the testicles are inside somehow.
Like I said, this is just the concept. Yes, it's very specific. It's very specific.
Because we're using an example that I've never heard of in medical science.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
So what? I just want to hear it clear.
I'm making it up. I said this is the ideal thing. I'm making it up.
I want to answer your question.
The testicles are in her stomach. I don't know, but she has testicles inside. You can't find them. You'll never see them. But she has testicles. But it happens though, because you can have there can be people born with a penis, but have the reproductive system of a woman.
I want to answer your question. If this person has if this man somehow has an outward, some has a very good, good quality vagina. I don't care. Good quality vagina. See, the pussy, when I say good pussy, I'm talking about the whole. But let's say it's a good, it's not good pussy. It's like a very, tight, wet vagina, right? That's still a fucking man, and I had gay sex. Because this is a male.
That's a man.
It's a male. I could have and you know what? And you know what? And you know what? Unless you're
being very straight.
Unless you're strung up on technicalities, you can still fuck this dude. You could have great if she big tits, ass.
If you're gay.
It sounds like
you have to explain what gay sex is.
So for me, if we use
gay and straight concept,
I can't. It depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about it biologically, then it makes sense.
He thinks sexuality is a spectrum and it's not binary.
Yeah, I feel
that's what you feel.
Yeah, because I feel like the things that you do is the act of sex. So you have sex, you eat a girl's pussy, she gives you head. The things that you guys do orally, physically, are sexual activities.
What makes a straight man? At what point does he cross over having sex with this straight woman? At what point does it become homosexual, if at all? Is any act that a straight man performs with his straight woman is any sexual act within that
homosexual?
Considered homosexual?
No.
So if
if what he said, yes. According to what Papa said, there will be no.
Well, I'm not. This is completely separate from that.
Yeah,
but he's already explained it though.
That's okay.
No.
All right.
Well, no.
Nothing that they would
this
do.
This is a completely different topic. Well, not a completely different. If you're having sex with your woman and she has this big massive dildo and she starts, fucking you with this big dildo because she thinks this is what's arousing during sex, do you feel it's gay?
Do I feel that it is gay? Yes.
Okay, so that let's save Ish's answer right there. And
that's fine.
Let's not
yes.
put it in our pocket, but let's yes. What do you think? You're having sex with your woman and she has a dildo and she's like, yeah, this is.
She's not gonna do that to me.
Okay, alright.
For sake of the conversation.
Alright, Joyce is not gay, and he doesn't like having dildo shoved up his ass.
Well, I just conceive those stuff as gay stuff.
As gay,
like,
you think it's you believe it's gay. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I don't think it's gay.
Okay.
But I also would not let somebody shove.
Yeah, we respect that everyone's preference in this room.
Because your example is pretty direct, and I want to answer as direct as possible. I don't think it's gay because that's what y'all.
He's doing with
so
the
you
woman.
don't think that's gay?
What about you?
We're giving a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't think it's gay. I don't think it's gay for a guy to as long as it's happening with his woman.
His booty hole.
Yo, look.
That's what I'm saying.
And see, when you, I kind of
like now when she leaves me with a nigga. Like,
I'm very comfortable.
Damn,
I don't think
this nigga might penetrate my husband's booty hole because I do it to him.
That's
no.
Okay, homosexuality once again isn't about what people think.
Yeah. Homosexuality to me is not defined by
let me
sex.
just answer. Let me answer my position. Right. I don't think that's gay. I think that as long as
you like dicking your ass though.
In Castro's theory, it's the same thing. If your woman puts a fake penis in your ass, it's not gay because it's the woman doing it to you. That's the thing.
So you don't think it's gay?
That's still a gay ass.
Yeah, see, I'm
not gonna lie. I said yes, but I'm in a gray area. I'm not gonna lie. I'm iffy about it.
I understand about like sexual stuff and like.
Yeah, because if more men,
imagine if you enjoy, like, let's say you enjoy it. Why if you get locked up?
Yo,
but you
do know. Because if you get situational. If you get locked up, like the last thing you think about,
but you know
once already, you know the feeling.
You know where the male pleasure zone is, though, right?
Female, you like it that your
who's to say that now?
You know where but you know where the male G spot is, right?
You know what? It almost sounds like
you know where the male G spot is, right? Your prostate, you have to go through your butt to get it, and that may not be that you enjoy. You may not want to like it. But if somebody presses it, bro.
Not true.
So what it sounds like to me is like those who are overly defensive.
Science has proven this. What do you mean it's not true?
Science hasn't proven
those
shit.
Who are overly defensive, guys.
It has.
Go ahead, Pop.
Those
I'm sorry.
who are overly defensive about doing sexual acts with a female because they're like, oh, she sticks a finger in my butt, that's gay. Does that not also kind of go along the lines that maybe you might like getting your finger?
No,
that doesn't imply that at all. How does that
you can't like something that you never had.
I'm just saying because you
might.
And it's funny because when I was in high school, there was a male who was dating a female, and the female was very open with her sexuality. And she did everything under the Kama Sutra's sun, and she tossed his salad. And he never had that before, and he was like, "Yo, I enjoyed it."
Yeah, I'm gonna say it like this, like. I think traditionally as men, we're all grown, we're raised to believe that any kind of association with your butt is homosexual. For me, I don't feel that way anymore. I used to feel that way. That if, it's with your butt, it's gay. I personally don't like...
What happened to your butt?
I personally don't like anal penetration. I don't think that it's like I would enjoy it. I understand the concept. I don't personally think I would enjoy it. And not because I think it's gay, but because, I like to penetrate. As a man, I like to penetrate. I don't really see... That's like me saying, man, I wonder what that period shit feels like. I don't care, and I don't want to know.
Piggyback off of what he's saying.
But you can do things to a guy's ass, and I get it. Like, they say it's stimulating. It doesn't have to be the male G-spot. Like, G-spot's a term that we created.
I want to kind of piggyback
nerve endings that are really... aggressive, but...
but then that's what it is, then.
You could also say, it's not gay to do anything in your butt, but it makes me uncomfortable to think about something like that. Therefore, I don't want to do it. And uncomfortability within itself is reason to not do something.
It depends on the person.
Well, but
it doesn't make me uncomfortable to think about.
I didn't say uncomfortable.
Not gonna happen.
So all right. So if your girl came to you and she was like, "Hey, I know you don't want stuff in your butt, but I learned this thing and it's gonna explode our sexual life." What is your real concrete reason to say no to her?
Sexual preference, sexual acts, sexual preferences exist on a spectrum, but you can be a man and understand where your boundaries will be. Me, that penetration.
This goes back to my ideology. Is the idea that sexual stuff is.
You tried. Did it feel much different than the vagina?
Well,
I fucked girls in the vagina and then accidentally slipped into the ass and didn't even notice.
Accidentally.
Your butthole was loose.
I don't know whether or not
you have to go through that. But this
or her vagina was very tight.
Or
What's the last option? What's the last option? Enlighten me. What's the last option?
Something's very tiny.
Oh.
I don't know. My dick could be highly tiny.
Were you thinking that? What were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
No, I was just thinking it's either that it was too loose or, I don't know.
But he said that, man. He just misled me.
Whatever it is.
Whether her
pussy and her ass are both tight, whether my dick is super small, or whether this bitch just knows her kegels. The idea is that no matter where I'm fucking on this woman, I could be fucking her ear hole. I don't give a shit. It's a woman.
So what are our closing remarks on all of this? What is the point that after going round about this? What have we have? What are we concluding with?
Just to wrap it up, guys, we spoke about macho-ness and being manly. Give us your thoughts on that. And then this later topic in terms of what makes you gay
the spectrum, apparently.
The spectrum of being gay. And let me not use the
spectrum
word
of sexuality.
The spectrum of sexuality. What are your thoughts on that?
To us single guys, Castro, Rick, anybody try the 50-50 text? Nobody?
The what?
50-50 text?
What's that?
If you're going on a date.
Oh no!
Oh, you didn't try it?
So we're doing the I did not do the 50-50 text. I have not gone on any first dates lately. I have had a lot of interesting conversations though with a couple of people who have had a lot to say.
All about the 50-50?
Yes, apparently one of the things is it stems from mostly women who I've had these conversations with, but most women feel. And not all women, but most women feel that basically that it's historically and traditionally the dude has been the provider, as we discussed, and he should be the one to pay. Now they said somewhere down the line, obviously, that yes, eventually, in a grown relationship, it should be 50-50 and whatnot. And although I tried to say, well, why does it have to be eventually down the line? Why not just start it off that way?
Yeah. We
weren't able to really to get it right. We weren't really able to get an answer, so that's where we kind of stood there. But they agreed somewhere down the line, it should be 50-50.
Yeah.
I had this conversation really in depth with one of our listeners. Shout out to you. You know who you are.
I had the same conversation with a couple people. One of them that really was pretty smart, and he says. Tip to avoid paying first on the first date, take them somewhere that doesn't cost any money and it's still fun, like walking around the park, library, museum, or to a free show or art event. This way you can still appear fun and you don't have to spend any money. The cool thing about him also is that he's not American, so he comes from somewhere else. He's like, one time he did go on a date. It's super funny. He said he went on a date with a girl and he told her, hey, it's my tradition that I don't bring my wallet till the second date. And she kind of bought into that. So they ended up going to a park. And then the second date, he bought his wallet. Mm-hmm. But it was still like he didn't have to pay anything the first date. You know who you are.
So with the 50-50, well, you said it's like more to like how she would react, right?
Right. And then some other people were saying, I believe it was Castro, you were saying earlier that you're supposed to, in theory, talk to the person long enough so that by the time you decide to ask them out on a date, you already feel like I want to pay for this person because I want to just spend time with them. And it becomes less of a 50-50. That's what you said, right?
Pretty much.
So I just want to make sure.
All right, let me just ask one question. If y'all all have like a lot of money, do you still send out, like, do you care about the 50-50 date or it doesn't matter?
Yeah, I do. Because like I said last time, for me, it wasn't
about... I feel like it brings like certain characteristics. It shows you certain characteristics.
For me, it wasn't about actually paying for the meal. I would, I've done this before. I would say let's do 50-50, and I ended up paying regardless. But the idea was just to see what type of person she is.
Yeah.
And I do agree with some of the other things that you guys said. Y'all should talk long enough for you to just be like, all right, I know who she is before I get there. But it's 2019. That doesn't happen.
All right. One more question before Rick says something. All right. The characteristics that you're looking for, what is it that can be shown from going on like a 50-50 date?
For me, it's for the 50-50 date, it's interest. You're equally as invested as I am to make this thing happen. And again, nurturing. And I know it sounds kind of weird because like I said, nurturing can be in different aspects. Financial accumulation together. That's a way to nurture as well. The same way that I water your pockets so you can go get your nails done or your eyebrows done or whatever. That's a form of nurturing, right?
Yeah. All right. So I feel the same way like you. Well, I'm not saying on the 50-50 date, but those are characteristics that you know, I think most men probably be looking for.
To an extent, my whole thing is everyone keeps saying, "Oh, well, you know, if you are interested, you know, you want to take her out." If she's on this date, is she not as well interested? Does she not want to be here? Did I have to club her and drag her to this restaurant? She's interested too. She wants to get to know me as well. You are not a prize. I'm sorry. You may be a prize, but at this point, whether we have spoken for like however long, I'm a catch too. This isn't just, oh, what can you get from this? It's what can we get from each other? Mm-hmm. And if it's what can we get from each other, by the same accord for you to be like, oh, well, you interested in me, so you should take me out. Then by that same logic, you're trying to say, well, I don't know if I'm that interested in him, but I'll let him take me out. Like that's if that's not your logic, that's how it sounds when you say something like that. If you're interested, you should take me out. If that's the case, if you're like, okay, well, for date 1 you're paying, then I'll for sure for date 2 I'll pay. It should be along those lines. Or if you're like, I'll pay for date 1 and then for date 2 you'll pay. Like you're already putting that out there. Like, listen, I'm just as interested as you are. And I want us to go out.
Yeah, I think it do show like a level of interest because, you know, a lot of females do, you know, on a date, they do go for like a free meal or something.
For the most part.
Yeah. There's like, yo, if things don't work out, at least, you know,
I got
a meal or something.
Why should it be him? So this.
I won't say all female. I'm just saying, you know, most.
Why should we him pay for your oatmeal? We here to get to know each other, right? Now, I do feel that, you know, it is sort of this tradition that the guy has to pay. And I'm not going to lie, I always pay for the first dates because I feel like, listen, it don't matter how good the date goes. If I don't pay for it, she's going to be like, oh, nah, I don't want to be with him again. Yeah. So I'm about to try what your friend said. The next day, I'm taking somebody to, I mean, I like going to museums and I like doing stuff, but the next day, we're going for a walk in the park. So if I take you for a walk in the park, you already know why. You already know why.
If y'all listening to the podcast, you know what I'm saying?
Right, if any of y'all happen to be my listeners and we just happen to go on a date, yo, on date 1, we're going for a walk in the park. Yeah?
That's it. I'm
going to look at the
flowers. Did you get anybody to give you any feedback for the groping segment too?
Nothing constructive.
Before y'all get to that, I want to say something about how he was trying to elaborate my point. I think women are just attracted to a guy's drive to get what he wants, and she wants to see that drive applied to her. So when a man plans a date, takes care of everything, and has all these plans, and essentially at the end of the date pays, because it could be like, I'm sure a lot of the women out there don't care about money. It's not essentially that they can't pay their own date. It's just that they want to see that man's drive manifested onto them. And so the idea of men liking women and knowing what they're getting into going into the date comes from the idea that a man's drive usually comes from him wanting something bad enough that he's willing to take necessary steps to get it. That's towards anything in life. And I think when he shows that if a man really likes a chick, he's going to go full speed and go try to make it happen. And that's when it becomes not really a matter of money when he thinks, should I pay $50 for this date? Those kind of thoughts just don't come into your mind. And that's what I meant with the whole getting to know you shit. Mm-hmm. It's like, I should know you by the time that, I should have an idea of whether or not I like getting involved with you before, like, my interactions with you at least, before I decide to take you on a date and spend money on you. You know what I'm saying? When I say I want to take you on a date, I'm now courting you for things that I'm trying to look for in a more long-term relationship. I think what happened now over time is that people date with the idea of, I'm going to go get to know this stranger, not really knowing who they are. And so therefore they debating whether or not I should even shell out money. I don't know if she's going to like me. I don't know if she's going to like talking to me. Give me some after. I don't know what it is I'm getting into at all. And I think that happens because of that firewall that's put up with women and getting to know them. You can't just get to know any chick. She has to choose whether or not you don't know what my intentions are, but even to just allow you to get to know me, there's gonna be a little bit of a firewall.
I agree. I think there should be some sort of effort when you take somebody out on a first date, but I don't think you would have to pay for anything. Like, For me, I would want somebody to, like how I mentioned before, like you can bring a blanket underneath the stars, have some like picnic, and that'll be fine with me. And you don't have to pay for shit. So I don't see why a lot of women will say that their value isn't defined by a man, but then when it comes to him paying for something, then now it's, you know, she has to be determined, or he has to determine her value by the amount of money he spends. And that's where I'm like, I don't understand that.
So women shouldn't be defined by man, but yet when it comes to money,
it's like but when you open your pockets, that's when
my
value is
gold diggers
meaningful. Well, just like no.
Like throughout, you know, your lifetime of dating, have any female like taking you out, like females that you dated,
so
like happily went out and like, set up a date?
Yes.
How many of them would you say? Like,
I can speak of recently as far as dating. There was this girl from Boston. Shout outs to you. You know who you is. Date one, I took her out. We went to Dave and Buster's. I'm a competitive dude, so we went to Dave and Buster's. We did that whole eat and play thing. Then for day two, I went out to Boston to see her. And she was like, you know, that was around when Endgame had came out. She's like, yo, I'm gonna take you to see Endgame. You know, she got us a place, you know.
Okay.
You know, like I'm not, you know, I don't need to get into that. Yeah, she courted me, and I'm not. Yo, it's dope. It's all nice. Yes, like you know, it is dope when people
imagine that happening, but 50-50 all the time. Amazing.
This is the type of thing that I'm saying. Like women need to realize that guys like this type of stuff too. I would like to be taken out as well. I would like that, you know, you wake up one day and be like, yo, not what can I do for my man, but like, yo, he wanted to see this movie. Like, it doesn't have to be much. I'm a really simple dude, yo. Like,
so you're saying start how you want to finish.
Right.
If I start with this courting thing being 50-50, that's the tone you set for the rest of the relationship.
If you're saying, oh, it's 50-50 and it's not about the first date, then by, I don't know, at least date 5, you should have taken me out by your standards at least twice then, right? Like, even if that's it. Or let's just say, like, let's not put numbers up there. But if we've gone on 5 dates and you're like, oh, yeah, it's not about you just taking me out, then that means you should have taken me at least once so far.
I think a guy who's not, like, with the... I mean, I don't believe in the 50-50 thing in the traditional sense that, like I said, I don't have to think about 50-50 because I ain't taking you on a date if I don't fuck with you already.
But can I switch?
Oh, wait. Before you switch it up, so y'all feel like it's only New York females that might act this way, or would you say a general amount of females feels like you should?
I think it's New York. I mean, from my experiences, I think it's New York females who be on some like, nah, he got to pay on the first date. Right. Sorry, shout out to my New York women. I apologize. But my experiences, you know, some people that I've dated outside of New York, they were okay with the whole 50-50 because they were just equally invested. Like, I don't really care what we do. I just want to actually meet you in person because I like how we talk and I want to like see what's up. Yeah. And regardless, I'd pay. But knowing that they're like, I'm down to split it, showed me already like this is not about money for you. This is about
getting to know you and whatever.
And when I pay, they be like, oh, you paid? And I'm like, yeah, you already know what it is.
It's not a New York thing.
That's a good question.
I've been with a Southern
girl. I'm going
to
save those for the next topic.
I've been with a Southern girl, and down south, you know, they're about tradition.
They're very traditional.
Right, they're about tradition and stuff, and this kind of like, you know, the man's the gentleman. So I was doing a lot of door opening. I was doing a lot of pulling of the seats out. And, you know, when it came to like...
Start how you want to finish.
When it came to like, you know, meals, when it came to going out and doing stuff, it was just pretty much automatically assumed, you got this, right? Like, you got this.
She left a whole person at home.
No, nothing like that. And don't get me wrong, it's not like she wasn't as given as well. Not like she, you know, she gave me gifts. She got me something that I like. But when it was things like going out, I was expected to hold a car door open. I was expected to hold the door open for like her to establishment. Okay. Not so much pulling the chair out every time, but if I got to the seats before, I would do that too. And when it came down to paying, it was, you got this right now. She also did, like, I talked to her and I'm like, you know, this is a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, she took me out too, but majority of the times it was pretty much me. So it's not just a New York thing. I'm not saying it's just all Southern girls are like this either, but everywhere it's kind of everywhere girls, women will be women.
And you've heard all of our opinions, but leave us some comments. Let us know. We'll read some of these.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you want to hear more of it.
Yeah, because we could go back on this topic, but
or not.
Yeah, we could always go back
I still think sex is sex. It has nothing to do with
I agree. I think
tell us who y'all hate the most too. Like I just want
to
let us know. From the two podcasts already.
Leave us your thoughts in the comments. You already know how we feel, and we really appreciate y'all.
Thanks for listening.
So boom.